Okay, everybody, this is my take on Kerosene's Fields of Rubus. Before I get on with the fragrance review, first I have to say I'm going to make this as, unbiased as I possibly can. Keep in mind that I have the utmost respect for John, and I think he's probably the nicest guy in this whole community. I know he doesn't make reviews anymore, but I'm going to give you a little backstory on my encounters with John. I'm not sure if he even would really remember me, as my hair has changed, I changed channels, all that good stuff. But when I first got started, 2 years ago on my original channel, he was the first one that really kind of reached out to me, and he's actually the first one that ever sent me like samples, swap samples with me. He sent me a few creeds, and he was just a really nice guy, super down to earth, and I have to thank him for the generosity and thank him for these wonderful creations that he's come out with. So, Fields of Rubus came out in 2012, this year. You can get a 100 ml bottle from Min, New York for $140 shipped. Now, let's go on to the presentation here. Here's the box. So the box is a velvet bag, and Min will wrap it up in a nice box, so everything will be safe and secure. His fragrance comes in a nice velvet bag here, much like, I'm pretty sure, Xerjoff, Montals come in a bag. They got the Montal box around it, but it comes in a nice little bag. So it's a nice touch, and it'll say your fragrance right here, Fields of Rubus. So there's that, so you can use it for travel or whatever. And here is the bottle. Now, anyone who's a collector of bottles, I think that this is one of the best bottle presentations I've seen. Here it is. I mean, his whole line, not specifically just this bottle, but the whole line. First of all, I love the color. And I love this like copper plate, Fields of Rubus by Kerosene, and it's a nice glossy feel. Up here is a little bit got a little bit more texture to it. I believe it's a refillable. Don't quote me on that. I'm not going to try to unscrew this and then have a break, because that will be really irritating. Here's what the sprayer looks like. It's very, very good sprayer. Holy cow! Holy cow. So let's go on to the note lineup. In the top notes, we have raspberry, plum, apple. Middle and base, I believe this is a combination of both. Tobacco wood, musk, vanilla, sandalwood, cedar, and patchouli. So, when I first spray this on my skin, like I just did, I get a humongous blast of like an ambery pencil shaving cedar feel going on, mixed with patchouli, plum, and raspberry. And it's a little harsh at first, to be perfectly honest. It smells pleasant, but it's a little harsh. And on my wrist, I've got to dry down for about an hour now. It's just like, heavenly. It's so unique. I think that's the main thing that's capturing me with Kerosene's fragrances that he has offered so far. Every one of them is unique. Fields of Rubus, I think, is one of the most unique ones out of his line, and it's a super unique fragrance in general. The reason why is what this turns into on my skin. I know that BP Wool Brad, he mentioned that he gets a chocolate note out of this. So do I. It's not listed in the notes. I don't know if he did that on purpose. But I get a very distinct raspberry chocolate jam feel out of this fragrance, with patchouli and like wood chips underneath. That is what this fragrance smells like to me, and it's unique, and it's freaking yummy. It's just, this is a gourmand oriental sort of feel on my skin. It's more oriental, I think, leaning towards like the Copper Skies route of things, from his line specifically. And this is just I can't emphasize enough on how unique this is. I have not smelled this sort of take on raspberry yet, like that very jammy raspberry, and it's so pleasant. Unless you don't like the taste of raspberry or the smell of it, that'd be one thing I'd say. If you don't like the smell of raspberry, then don't bother with this. It is a raspberry jam with little chocolate undertone, patchouli, and like cedar chips. This stuff is gorgeous, gorgeous. My favorite from his line so far has got to be Copper Skies, but this one is my second favorite, and it's a close second. So versatility with this one, I'd say I'd say probably 25 and up. As I definitely don't see high schoolers pulling this off. Male or female, I think, could definitely pull this off. It is probably the most unisex fragrance he has out. Um, it's not as feminine as Santalum Slivers or Whips and Roses, but it's not as masculine as, say, Creature or Copper Skies. It's definitely middle of the road and definitely the most unisex, in my honest opinion. And don't forget how unique this is. I'm telling you, you have got to sample this for fall and winter. This is going to be great. Continuing on with versatility, I think, okay, so 25 and up, and I think that this is primarily one that you should use for formal occasions. It can be used as casual, but I think that best suited for if you're wearing a dress or you're wearing khakis and a button-up shirt or a suit would be the best bet for this type of fragrance. While it is extremely sensual and unique and invigorating, it definitely has class to it, formal sort of feel. Definitely, definitely different. I really can't say that enough. This is just such a different fragrance. You might want to use it more for casual, just to kind of wrap your nose around it. Um, I think that this is best suited for fall and winter. I would not be pulling this out in the summer at all. Um, so for fall, this just kind of reminds me of October, specifically the month of October. Like, I don't know why, but this reminds me of like Halloween and the leaves falling, and uh, like a dreary day sort of in fall with like a field and barbed wire around the field. It smells nothing like hay or rain or anything like that, but that's kind of the image I get in my head. Um, as far as sprays with this one, this is a pretty potent one on my skin. I know a few people have been having issues with Kerosene's line, but I haven't at all. They all are lasting me at least 7-8 hours. This one is lasting me between 7 and 8 hours, and it's projecting for the first two. I suggest wearing no more than 3 sprays with this. I'm going 2 right now. One on the neck and one on my wrist and clinking. That's enough for me. That's all I need. If you feel like you need more, that's great. Keep in mind that we are in September right now, so once it gets to be a little bit colder out, I could see going 3, maybe 4. That's pushing it. Sprays. You really don't need much with this, I don't think. As far as, like I said, the projection is great for the first 2 hours. Longevity is great too, 8 hours. Now, for this one, as far as compliments go, this one is probably the most complimented one out of all his fragrances that I own. Like I said, I have Copper Skies. I have a 5 ml decan of Creature, Root Elements, Santalum Slivers, Whips and Roses, Woodhaven. I've actually got his whole collection, and I've used all of them. So this one is definitely the most complimented. Copper Skies gets me a lot of compliments too, actually. And so does Root Elements and Creature too, actually. They're actually all very, I think it's because they're all very unique. People aren't going to, have smelt this around before. This one specifically, though, a lot of younger girls like this, like my age, 21, 22, 23, in that realm. Specifically women. I have not had a single compliment from a guy, but girls my age really like this, and they like it for themselves too. My girlfriend has worn this a couple different times. Like I said, this has a very unisex feel to it. All in all, I give Kerosene's Fields of Rubus a 9 out of 10. It's not the most versatile, but it's super unique. The price point is, $140, but it is quality. It's unique, and you don't need many sprays with this one, and it lasts a good long while. Not to mention, John is a great guy, and he has my full support. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.